When it comes to Christmas candies, one comes to mind more than any other. I bet you can guess what it is. It's candy canes. There's a family business right here in Martinsville, Indiana, that's been making candy canes for 100 years. Randall, you went there to see how they made it all happen.
Yes. Okay, so in the Martinsville Candy Kitchen, they make candy canes from scratch. Now, some say these are the best candy canes in Indiana, and I went to check out how they do it and why. Coming to you from inside the Martinsville Candy Kitchen. They are celebrating 100 years of magic with this candy, and I'm here with John Badger, one of the co-owners. He's hard at work right now, showing us how it's all done. John, what's going on right now?
So what we're doing now is just cooling the syrup down so that we can pull it on the hook and make the candy cane.
This process, what's the most challenging part of all of this that you guys do on a regular day basis?
The right thickness. That's the hardest part of this. The biggest challenge is getting everybody's candy canes made before Christmas gets here.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
What do you guys get out of it when it's all said and done?
Well, I just enjoy the fact that everyone gets candy canes that wants one. That's my main goal, is to get everybody that wants a candy cane.
How long does this whole process take?
It takes 2.5 hours to make a full batch of candy canes. Wow. It takes an hour just to cook the syrup, and then it takes us about a half hour to put it all together, and then we'll spend an hour pulling the canes out. Then after that, we have about a half-hour time of getting the bagged and tagged before we can let them go out the door.
What does it mean for your whole family to kind of be involved with all of this and making this whole thing happen for people on Christmas?
Well, I think most of us enjoy it. I got a grandson. He really likes it anyway. My son helps out. My daughter helps out.
All right, and speaking of family, that brings me to Kristen. What is your relationship to this guy working hard behind us?
That is my father.
Okay, so family, keeping this in the family, what is that process like for you guys? Every single year, the whole family has to be involved with this thing.
It is hard, especially for me because I live 2 hours away. But it definitely brings its challenges.
Okay. You're getting busy right now, so yes. So what are you doing right now?
I am cutting the stripes right now, and then once he gets done pulling the white part on the hook, then we will add these to what we call the loaf.
Okay, for you, what is the most challenging part for you? Getting all this stuff ready for Christmas every year.
The lack of sleep.
Just give people an idea of what that means, lack of sleep.
So both my parents have a full-time job, and then I manage the store during the day. And so at night, after my dad gets off work, he comes in and makes candy canes. So we are here from about 6 o'clock until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning making canes, and then we get up and do it all again the next day. So.
How long does it take you to be able to do what you're doing right now, and for you guys to learn how to do this?
To really know exactly what to do and get the hang of it. It takes a long time, but it's fun and it's worth it.
Why should they come to Martinsville Candy Kitchen to experience candy cane?
To see the process, and because most people have no idea the amount of time and energy that goes into making candy canes. And I mean, as you guys have seen, it starts out as a liquid and it comes to a solid in a matter of about 30 minutes usually. The amount of time that you have to put into it is just, it's crazy.
When it comes to, you guys been here for 100 years, what's the best part of that for you, to be a staple here in Martinsville?
To see the kids' reactions to different things, whether it's ice cream or their favorite chocolate that they found, or trying a candy cane for the first time. I mean, there's nothing like getting to experience that with our community and the people we grew up with. And now I'm getting to see the people that I went to school with and grew up with, their kids are coming in here, and I get to meet them and experience all of that with them, and it's wonderful.
Awesome. Okay, so how do you guys take the orders? I know you guys are kind of doing right now.
We're wrapping up for the season. We only take orders through paper. We cannot take orders online. People want us to be able to be online and just place an order, and I can't imagine opening that magic up to everybody else. As much as we would love to, it's an overwhelming thought, for sure.
I'm overwhelmed just looking at this process, guys, so I'm gonna let them finish this up. We're gonna show you the finished product here after they get done. Maybe I could help somehow, I don't know.
That was cool.
Isn't that crazy? So you'll get to see my candy cane making skills later on in the show, and you'll hear from some loyal and new customers, and they'll tell me why this experience is different from any candy store they've ever been to.
You said he counted how many times you do that pull.
Yeah, just that whole, didn't that look tiring?
100
how he was doing
times?
that? Like almost 100 times they do that, and all that from the beginning to end. It's more than 3 hours to just get a batch ready.
Batch of candy canes.
It's nuts.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Good for Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
All right.